Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 39 locations throughout the metropolitan New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. We start with high school football because the select school championships take place in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome all day Friday, starting at 10 a.m. and ending who knows when. Again, Division 4, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, and those games will be in the Dome starting with Ascension Episcopal and Southern Lab at 10. Our interest is in the Division 3 game with Riverside and St. Charles Catholic in a district rematch at 1:30 p.m. Parkview Baptist St. Thomas More follows that, and then sometime late at night, Vangilder and Scotlandville for the Division 1 title. Great chance to go out and see some high school state championship games in one location in perfect conditions.
It will be, or you can go check out the non-select semifinals, a couple of big games of interest. At Berman, you've got McDonough 35 and Carr in the district rematch, and then over in Destrehan, Landry Walker heads over to St. Charles Parish to face the Fighting Wildcats. Go to a game this Friday, though. That's definitely the message we can give you. But have your phone with you and follow along with SportsNOLA.com because we'll have all the coverage. Landry Walker, Destrehan, you'll have it as part of the original on WGSO 990 AM, and then we'll have the live stream of McDonough 35 and Carr right here at SportsNOLA.com. Also, check out our preview video that focuses solely on those high school football playoffs.
All-inclusive, the place to be, SportsNOLA.com for this weekend of high school football and high school basketball as well. The championship of the CYO basketball tournament will be Saturday night at 7:30 at the Jesuit Gym. Don't know who's in it yet, but we'll have it for you live at SportsNOLA.com. Coach Bill Gallagher will join me for the call. We look forward to that.
Should be. It's first chance we've had to bring you the CYO final. And, look, this tournament's been around a long time, 63 years, in fact. Great tradition. The All-State Sugar Bowl has sponsored it since 2008. And, you know, a great opportunity. Really, this is kind of the signal, the kickoff, if you will, of high school basketball, especially on the boys' side.
Turning our attention now to what is an interesting Pro Football Sunday. The Saints and the Lions. Lions have won the last two in this matchup. They've been competitive. Lions are 7-4. They've won close games. Now, they come from behind kids this year. So if the Saints are leading in the fourth quarter, don't get comfortable unless it's a gigantic lead. Saints are coming off of their best performance of the year as they absolutely trounced the Los Angeles Rams in an emotional effort. I guess I'll start there because I guess the question would be, can they match that emotional effort? Because clearly they were souped, jacked, excited, emotional for that game.
No, I don't think they can match the effort. But that said, can they provide something close to that? Certainly. And you're right. This is remarkable. A Lions team at 7-4 and winning their division has not failed to trail in a game all year in the fourth quarter. The only team that's done that is the Cleveland Browns, and they're 0-12. So, you know, the Lions are 7-4 and have come from behind to win every single game in the fourth quarter this year. Remember 2 years ago, they did the same kind of thing to the Saints in Detroit. Last year was a blowout. The Saints made it competitive late, but the Monday Night Football, the Lions blew the doors off the Saints in the first half, and it really was not a competitive game, except the Saints came back and made it a one-score game late.
Yeah, they did. At least they made it competitive, and we'll see what happens this time around. Getting off to a good start, imperative for the Saints, who are getting a bit healthier as time goes on, and I think they're getting better too, so we'll see if they can manage this. They have to win out, in my estimation, to have a chance to make the playoffs. And the New Orleans Pelicans coming off of a resounding win over the Lakers, who then turned around and beat the Bulls. Very impressive performance by the Pelicans. You can argue that was their best performance of the year against a very decent upcoming team coached by Luke Walton and Anthony Davis to this point in time. And I don't think this is an overstatement. He's been the best player in the NBA thus far this year.
At least in the top two. I think you can make a case for Russell Westbrook as well with the numbers that he's putting up, which have been extraordinary. But that said, find it interesting, New Orleans, L.A., we've seen that kind of storyline all week. Saints, Rams, Pelicans, Lakers. Now the Clippers coming to town Friday night. So that will be a tough test against Chris Paul and company. And it doesn't get any easier on Sunday when Pelicans have to head to Oklahoma City to take on the aforementioned Russell Westbrook.
Well, you can make the case that the Clippers have been the best team in the league thus far this year, playing to their vast ability, which they haven't done to this point in time. I think Jordan's reached his zenith. I think he's really peaking as we speak. Griffin is healthy. Chris Paul is still Chris Paul. It's a good basketball team.
It is. Now, the one thing the Pelicans have going for them is, the scheduling situation, if you will, here. The Pelicans haven't played since Tuesday, so they'll have 2 full days of rest leading into the game. Meanwhile, the Clippers, with a tough loss Tuesday night at Brooklyn, had to play Cleveland on Thursday night before they come to New Orleans.
One final note, we'll know about bowl assignments coming up very soon now, so we'll find out about the All-State Sugar Bowl, about the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, and there are some intriguing possibilities, the New Orleans Bowl in particular.
Yeah, I think everybody's obviously focused on the conference championship games and even the de facto conference championship game, if you will, in the Big 12 between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. They don't have a conference championship yet, but this is for that, and will ultimately decide who's coming to the All-State Sugar Bowl on the Big 12 side. It looks like Auburn would be the opponent unless Florida pulls the upset of Alabama. New Orleans Bowl side, wow. I mean, the game to watch is in Monroe. UL Lafayette, UL Monroe, the state rivalry, and if the Cajuns win that game to get to 6-6, you have to figure they are a very attractive team that could come here. On the other side, you might be looking at a Southern Miss team to beat Louisiana Tech last Friday to get bowl eligible, which would really be the first time since that UL Lafayette Tulane game that you've had two geographically close teams to really make for a good gate situation. It could be really the best situation that the Sports Foundation and the New Orleans Bowl officials could hope for.
Yeah, which is truly what the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl is all about, as compared to the Sugar Bowl, which is a national stage game more than the other. So we'll see. It'll be fun to find out this weekend. That's our First NBC Bank weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank, with 39 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana and into the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you on Monday.
You have a great weekend as well. Until then, God bless.